So I feel like I'm probably one of the last people ever to try out this foundation, which is the Fenty Beauty Hydrating Long Wearing Foundation. I recently have come down to like one good everyday foundation, and then the other one that I have is more like a filming one. So I was in need of another everyday one because that one is also almost out. So I wanted to try this one. I'm late to the game, like I said, because I wasn't in need of a foundation when this came out, and also I like to wait a long time for real reviews and see how people wear it throughout like ever since it launched, because a lot of people do get PR and you can't trust everyone. I have trust issues, okay? I think that happens when you get cheated on by an ex. So the shade I have is 150, and we're gonna see if it works for me or not. I don't even know what to put it on. Like, some people, I think I'm gonna start off by putting it on a brush, and this is one of my favorite brushes. This isn't like anything official, like this isn't like a review, first impressions, just seeing if it works for me or not. Hopefully I don't have to return this because I know it just goes in the trash. But so far I'm pumping and nothing's coming out.
Hello?
I'm confused. Why is nothing pumping out? Oh, she's coming out. I hear her. Hello. So I'm gonna start with 2 baby squirts. See what this does for me. As you can see, I have my main problem areas here that like seem to never go away. I also have it on that side. So if it can decently cover that and not make my face look so dry, I'll be content. Has an interesting smell. I mean, I definitely picked a good shade, even though I did not pick it out in person. I just ordered it online, and I think I did a good job in picking the shade. I have to say, like, I'm pretty good at that. If I never see like a foundation in person and I have to order it online, and you know, like, online swatches aren't really like real swatches, or they're not always real swatches. It's kind of hard to tell sometimes, but I have to say I'm usually pretty good. Excuse my dog barking in the background. To say this actually matches really well. Wow, I have to say I'm really impressed, and I was not expecting that. You know, I heard mixed reviews. I just heard mixed reviews. Like, I don't really know how else to like put it. And even like the website, Sephora, had mixed reviews too. But as of now, you know, my problem area still peeks through, and that's just, it's just something that like won't be covered up unless I use foundation. But on the rest of my face, I'm surprised. I even had a beauty blender on backup just in case if I had to like blend even more. But it actually blended quite well for the most part. If anything, like maybe here that I can't like truly blend in as much, I might go over it with like a damp beauty blender. Corners of my nose maybe, corners of my mouth, those tend to be the hardest areas, and maybe just quickly run it over underneath my eyes. But that kind of really blended like a dream. Okay, Fenty. Okay, Rihanna, I see what you're doing. I'm gonna see what a second layer does to my little problem area. I know this is just like a what the heck video. This isn't like, honestly, maybe I'll check in like throughout the day to see how it does, but this is kind of just like I'm literally the last person on earth to try this foundation out. And I have very dry skin. Do a really good job controlling that with like my skincare, but just naturally I have dry skin, and I'm kind of just pressing this one in instead of blending it to not shear out the coverage, because like if you blend it like that you will, but if you tap it in it does retain a lot of its coverage. But of course, like, it's gonna be a pain to tap in everywhere, so that's why I like going in after like my whole face wherever I have problem areas. And oh my god, that actually did like a pretty good job on even covering that up, so it's buildable, which usually when I do this with other foundations, because like, you know, this is just like my problem area here, and then everywhere else like just a light layer of foundation will do. So usually when I try to go over the area, it doesn't make that much of a difference, and I have to definitely go over with concealer. But I am so impressed. Wow. And like, wow, I'm like really impressed that that like did the job. I'm impressed. I can tell it looks like a little powdery. I don't know if that's just, I'm just gonna take a baby wipe, so if it does dry like a powdery finish, I don't want it to like clog up the pump. But I love the packaging. It's just so sleek, and I love this because you get every drop out and it's not gonna be a pain. So if I wanted to cut it open when it's at the end, I could get more out instead of like spending hours like scraping a glass bottle. But I think just to like take away a little bit of powderiness that excuse me, a little bit of powderiness that I see on my chin, I'm just gonna dab my my damp beauty blender, because I can see it is starting to like be a powder matte. It's drying down to a powder finish, which I don't mind, but it looks really good on the skin. Like and it has that glow, a natural glow to it. I really like that. I'm gonna give it some time to naturally set on its own since it's still like drying down, and then we'll check back in like 10 minutes to see how it's doing. Okay, so I don't know how well you're gonna be able to tell, but I feel like it's not quite picking up on dry patches, but in areas that it tends to be a little bit drier, if I really look at it, I can kind of tell like that's where the foundation might be struggling a little bit. But I don't think it's anything like in my forehead. I can see it a little bit. But it's nothing that I don't think like setting spray wouldn't be able to fix. So I'm gonna do just minimal rest of my face makeup, see how that applies over it. And I know I'm just walking around my room, but there was the best natural lighting over there. Okay, so finished makeup for now. Again, I went super light, did like a slight contour, did some cream blush, just added a little bit of highlight, and then just set underneath my eyes and on my nose and slightly on the forehead. And I don't know if you guys want to see how this works throughout the day, because I'm sure everyone else did it. But right now it is 2 p.m. 2 p.m. 2 p.m. Alright, So I guess I'll just go on my day and then check in like later to see like how it wears. We are in Arizona. It is 110 degrees. Not that I really plan on going outside, so technically inside the house is 79 degrees because that's what our AC is set to, but we'll see how it wears. Okay. It is currently 6:19, so this foundation's been on for 4 hours, and honestly it's still looking really good. It's definitely getting a little bit more glowy in my T-zone. That could be because of a lot of reasons, but it just looks glowy in a good way. It doesn't look like sweat. If anything, maybe under my eyes, it just needs like a slight little dabbing with your ring finger. Just dab, dab, dab to get rid of like the like creasing or buildup of product, but that's just my under eyes. But overall, 4 hours in and it still looks really good, so maybe next time I'll check in at like the 7-8 hour mark and see how we're doing then. It is now almost midnight, and if you hear loud noises, it's because people are doing their own fireworks. So yeah, I haven't done anything, and I don't know if it's the light right now. It definitely looks a little bit oily, but of course it's almost been 10 hours and I haven't blotted or powdered, which is something I would normally do. But the coverage is still there. I mean, when I look at my face not in front of a light, like, it looks natural. So I'm really impressed with the foundation. Like I said, I normally would have blotted. You know, this is something that happens, especially during summertime and in Arizona. But I really like it. I'm really impressed with the FENTY foundation. And I'm really happy I don't have to return it, and I found something that'll work for now. But I'm exhausted. I want to go wash my face. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next one. Bye!